Old names gone but not forgotten, new names to be learned and remembered. Familiar names return to a familiar format, and a point slate wiped clean. Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship comes to Watkins, Glen for its Season 8 debut, and all the action for both the initial 40-minute feature and the 25-minute sprint that follows can be seen live as it happens here on the Global SimRacing channel. And Empire State, hello and welcome to GSRC's Countdown to Green. Thrilled to be back for another season. Bringing you our Words Eye View is Soup and Crackers. Yours truly, Bill Soups On, joined by Sean Crackers Ambrose. Our director is the hardest working man in sim race broadcasting, Joe Peak, armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over the next 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the doubleheader Formula Renault 2.0 Championship event that will immediately follow. The last time the AOR was at Watkins Glen was as recent as last season's round 2, when Tim Birdie finished second in the feature and fifth in the sprint to win that day. And we have an overlay for that. Birdie is one of those names gone but not forgotten, but all the names below Birdie, including Martin van Roosendaal, who won the feature that day, are back for the Season 8. The race was on the classic boot configuration. This morning, the drivers will need to negotiate the inner loop before attacking the carousel. But to give more in-depth track description, let me reintroduce Sean Crackers Ambrose.
Hey, Soup, welcome back, buddy. Listen, today we sit at the southern tip of Seneca Lake, right here in Watkins Glen, New York. You know, this used to be a street circuit when they first opened this up. Well, public roads in the village were used for this race course, but in '56, they put a permanent circuit in, and that was open. But, you know, except for a few changes, the circuit's current layout has more or less been the same since about 1971. The most notable alteration to the original layout is that inner loop just before turn 5, added back in 1992. Now, the track's history isn't limited to just racing. The circuit's also been the site of many a music concert, including the '73 Summer Jam, when 600,000 fans, not just 600, came to see the Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead, and yes, the band, Rick Danko and the boys. But today, it's about racing, where drivers will need to negotiate 11 corners over this 5.4 kilometers of asphalt and concrete. But the best way to get an idea what it's like to go around this place, jump on board the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0 and take a lap around the Glen.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman of the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Watkins Glen. Coming down to turn 1, you can brake very late, but the drop in elevation will make it easy to overshoot the apex. You'll be able to track out over the curb a little bit, but try not to overdo it, since it can in fact hurt your exit speed. And you'll see later why you need that. As we climb up the S's, it's flat out and mostly a matter of minimizing your inputs in order to help carry the momentum. The high downforce will mean too wide could be possible through this notoriously narrow section of track. But as we get to the top, here's where every ounce of speed will pay dividends. The backstretch will be where everyone tries to set up passes, since it ends in the heavy braking for the inner loop. But if you're trying to outbrake someone, be wary, because this chicane is single file. Touching wheels in an open wheel car rarely goes well for both parties. Now we've hit the carousel, where you brush off speed on entry, find the grip, and then bring the power back on once you're sure it'll stick. Not much time to relax, so switch sides and line up for the chute. The downhill braking makes it hard to get the car to turn in, but if you can hit it right, a late apex will pay you back well here. After that, you'll want to drift the car off to the left and spot your brake marker for the toe of the boot. This is another turn with a very late apex. It's going to be especially important to be able to apply the throttle as early as you can here, because the uphill of the exit will punish hesitation with a huge loss of momentum. Keep holding that left side and take a glance in your mirrors in case your competitor got a run on you. Then throw out the anchors for the heel of the boot. This is a place where you might see some passes made, but you'll definitely need to do it on the inside. Coming off, switch over to the right and slow up for the return to the main course. This is a really awkward turn because it's off camber while also requiring a late apex. Confidence when applying the gas can either help you or send you off into the tires. From there, we fly into Indianapolis. Just a little lift takes us through in this weather, but immediately we'll want to hug the left side to set up for the final turn. There's a lot of banking here to carry your speed. Just don't get greedy and smash it into the outside wall. Hopefully, you kept it on the black stuff and can now finish a lap around Watkins Glen.
Joe Peak on the mic, our old friend Amjad Yaman on the wheel, taking us around Watkins Glen. Now let's review what happened 2 weeks ago in the Season 7 finale at COTA. René Oosterkamp posted a feature second and a sprint ninth. Jonas Vasilaki Vastamaki had a fourth and a third, his best event career result. Those two drivers tied for the top score. Josh Thompson won the feature. When we look at the final Season 7 driver standings, nothing that happened at COTA had any effect on that championship. We can go to the next overlay now, as Adam Tierney had a crown wrapped up for the Formula Mini. Going to COTA for Season 8, Tierney will be racing for Radicals Online. Jean-Francois Godin was able to move around Phil Reed for second. Godin's Flying Frenchman team is grounded this season, so the French-Canadian is going to go as a privateer. Reed is going to take the season off. Season 5 champ Christian Decatch is back with Red Devil Racing, as is René Oosterkamp for SimRC. Going to the Tier 2 championship, Evan Rolling Thunder Emre held off Patrick Kessler. Both drivers have been promoted out of Tier 2 for this season. Leaving the Orange Viking, Knut Martinsen, Ty McLeod, and Daniel Morris as top contenders. Pundits have tabbed Fast and Lucky Vastamaki as the favorite, but what do they know? Finally, to the team championship, where Adam Tierney and Christoph Holstein took the crown for Formula Mini, with Tierney departing for Radicals Online. Joining Holstein to defend the championship will be fan favorite. How about this? Sarah Dove. Phil Reed and Kerry Nolden have both stepped away, so Aperture becomes an apparition. Germany's René Oosterkamp and Switzerland's Patrick Kessler are back for SimRC Prime. Christian Decatch and Daniel Morris are back for Red Devil Racing, but forum rumors abound that former Crimson Demon Charlie Summers is politicking to replace Morris on that team. More on that later. Force Fissy is back in force, manned by Kmart and Really Tough. As for the so-called pundits, who do they like? New team Radical Online Racing. Paired up for Season 8, our formidable duo of Adam Tierney and Josh Thompson. This being the opening round of Season 8, what better time than to talk about the series details? Sean?
Yes, sir. What better time? No time like now. Season 8. Welcome, everyone. Round 1 of 12 glorious races this season. You'll get 2 drops. Now, that's a combination of the feature race and the sprint. Of course, there are 2 races every Friday here on GSRC with the Apex Online Racers. And the setup on this Formula Renault 2.0 is open. Very secretive about these sets in the background, Soup. Not a lot of information shared. I'm just kidding. These guys are pretty nice, actually, and they do share a lot of info. But today's weather, 80 degrees outside, partly cloudy. It's 88 degrees on track. Now, that is Fahrenheit, folks, so please don't fret. A little windy, 13 miles an hour, gusting at times. So that could play a little bit of an issue, maybe getting up through the exits, getting that exit just right there to the back straight. It could get a little, get the car a little squirrely, maybe even in the inner loop. We'll see. But it's a beautiful day for racing here at Watkins Glen. Now, this feature race today is, of course, 40 minutes. Now, the grid going to be set by qualifying here. You will need a pit stop to get this done. You don't have enough fuel in the tank to make that full 40 minutes. And generally, we see them hit that pit stop, I don't know, right around 2/3 of the race. Into the cap at 15. Okay, that's a combination of off tracks, contact, any problems out there on track. You don't want to go over that 15. Watkins Glen, pretty familiar grounds here, Soup. I don't know if we'll see anybody get in trouble today, but certainly if anybody heads off into the Twilight Zone, we'll know why. No fast repairs. You got to run what you brought and keep it clean. The points now, play standard points all the way back to 20th place on this field here in the feature race, Soup.
Pretty much the same format as last time. They have tweaked a couple things. The incident lowered from 16 down to 15. Now, here's probably the most important part, Sean. Before, it used to be that they would invert for the sprint race anybody who finished on the lead lap. They are changing that. It's now going to be the top 20, as long as you are no more than one lap down. So if there are 15 cars on the lead lap and 7 cars one lap down, they'll take the top 5 cars. The top 20, as long as you're within a lap of the leaders. So that's going to be a little bit different rather than just trying to be on the lead lap. A little more of a battle now to get to that 20th spot. Could be exciting.
Yeah, it will be exciting because that's obviously the number you're going to want to try and hit there is in that 20. So we'll see how this works throughout the season, but I like the effort.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about some of the specifics about the track. Pitting always important. How's getting off and on pit lane here?
You know what? Getting on the pit lane, not bad at all. It's right there after that last turn. You can dive right in without worry of any real incident or trouble behind you. It's getting off of pit lane that can be so very, very tricky here. You've really got to watch your relative. You can't see much to your left side as you're coming out onto the track. You've got cars coming out of the 90 there, turn 1, and they're coming at speed, getting up into the S's, and you don't get as much momentum as you would like out of the pits to be up to speed in the S's, and you've got cars coming that are already at pretty much full speed as they're coming up through there. So it'll be pretty tricky getting on and off. Not as much on, but off of pit lane will be something to watch when they cycle in for those pit stops here in the feature.
Now, if you're new to this series, one of the key points is keeping the car undamaged, and that's not only the wings but the undercarriage as well. So often when the drivers come in for a pit stop, iRacing forces them to do that repair. They have no option. They forces them to take maybe an extra 5 or 6 seconds to repair a car that might have been damaged from going over the curbs. Sean, how is Watkins Glen? Are the curbs friendly, or are they kind of tough?
You know what, Sue? Not too bad. You do have to be a little bit careful in the inner loop. You don't want to get over those curbs too much. Could throw you off the track, or yes, get you some wing damage. But for the most part, the curbing here pretty advantageous to you. And I don't think we'll see as many crumpled wings as we've seen at some other tracks today.
You know, we did a broadcast a few weeks back here at Watkins Glen on the classic boot configuration that does not have that inner loop. Man, that really changes the complexion, the whole feel of this track. Just that little inner loop there at 5A changes stuff. What do you think? Is that a passing zone, a drafting? Where do you think we're looking at here?
Well, I certainly think you're going to see a lot of work being done coming out of the S's onto that long back straight there. That is really one of your really, really best passing opportunities down that straight, beating him into the inner loop. Look there, coming it down out of turn. I'm sorry here, Soup. I'm losing myself. Out of the chute, turn 6, down into the toe. I think you'll see great battles there into the toe. Always a good spot to overtake somebody there. There's like 3 different lines there through the toe to get yourself into the boot there and eventually to the heel. So a lot of good racing down in that section of the course. That's one of the reasons I love this configuration when you can incorporate that boot section of the track.
Looking at Mark Usher right now out there on track. He's certainly sitting 4th in his qualifying time. We got some new names to keep an eye on. One of them, Sean, is a guy we saw a little bit last season. He came in, said hello, had a cup of coffee here in season 7, and that is Martin van Loosennoord. He's our pole sitter right now. Another driver, Charlie Summers, is also a guy to keep an eye on. He had to leave because he wasn't able to put in the practice time. He's back.
Yeah, Loosennoord right now is he's got just over a 10th ahead of Summers. Loosennoord is going to be tough to beat. Tough. But some of the familiar names there at the top, Usher, Tierney, to catch back there in 8th right now. Godin there in 9th. So Scotty Newton in 10th. So you know what? We've got a stout field here today and a full one, 40 cars. Soup.
There's Sarah Dove. We talked about her moving up to race along with Christoph Holstein. Remember that team, Formula Mini, won the team championship, so a chance for Sarah to see if she can get herself a crown this time. That'll be a tall order with some of these guys coming in. We talked about Radical Online Racing. They have Adam Tierney teamed up with Josh Thompson, but I'm not seeing Josh here today, so that team's going to get off to a slow start. How about top rookie? Right now we have Luke Barton. Let's go to the grid right now. We'll run down the entire qualifying order for you. It's a standing start, so we have to hustle through. Let's take them 10 at a time. It's Martin van Loosenord on the front row inside of Charlie Summers. Row 2 is going to be filled up by Mark Usher and Adam Tierney. Populating row 3 is the top rookie, Luke Barton, with Fabio Donoso in the 6th position. Harrison Finch is our top foul driver today in 7th position. Christian Tkach flanks him in 8th, 9th, and 10th. Jean-Francois Godin and Scott Newton. Sean?
All right, row 6, Patrick Kessler and Eric Gandre. And row 7, Daniel Morris, Stefan Herman. Row 8, Evan Imre, Jern Cortel. And then we go to row 9, Matthew Willett and Bruno Dometer. Row 10, Hugo Cagnier and Carl Jansen.
And then in the blackjack position, Kmart, Knut Martinson, Renee Osterkamp. My goodness, in the double duck spot. Look how far they are down there. Finch was 7th. Another feathered driver, Sarah Dove, in the 23rd position. Jerry Mojak in 24th, 25th, and 26th. Miguel Antolin and Ty McLeod. Ty up racing out of the Tier 2s this time, now up into the Tier 1. Stefan Larkamp, Eunice Vastamaki in 28th, 29th, and 30th. Rudolph Nagel and Robin Banks Bondan.
All right, 31st through 40th. Let's go. Tom Van Hoyman, Ziv Sade, Alec Hudson, Connor Ryan, Casper Thron, Alexis Merloso, Robin Steffers, Nick Carroll, Christoph Holstein, and Guillaume Toledo.
How about that? They limited our field to 40, and we have all 40 putting in practice times. Christoph Holstein did not put in a qualifying time, but he's out there. And Guillermo Toledo in the same position as well. We have a full 40-car field. My goodness. But all eyes right now are on our pole sitter, Martin van Loosenord. He sits just ahead of Charlie Summer as they stagger the first row. Remember, the first corner is going to be what they call the 90. It's the right-hander. And that's what Loosenord is going to dive into. This is season number 8. We have a 40-minute race. Look for one pit stop coming up. Big names up in front, Usher and Tierney. Remember, Tierney, the defending champion. The lights are up. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn. And sure enough, it is Van Loosenord leading the stampede down to the first corner. Summers drops into second, a little battle for third on the inside in his familiar dark machine. That is Usher getting the nudge ahead of Adam Tierney. Luke Martin, the rookie, rounds out your top 5.
Boy, Soup, everybody clears the 90 here. Making their way up through the S's now. We still have a clean track. Sometimes it can get stacked up in the S's. Everybody making it to the straightaway, though.
Yeah, now their next challenge will be the inner loop. The leaders make it through okay. The top 10 make it through. The top 20 make it through.
Oh, we got trouble at the back. Trouble at the back.
Mikael Antolin involved in that one, as was Connor Ryan. We'll come back and get that to you one a little bit later. We'll continue on with the first lap. About 4 or 5 cars back in the back involved in that one. Up in front, though, we can, hey, report Charlie Summers has made the pass for the lead. Maybe when we watch the replay of that incident, we'll be able to go up to Charlie Summers and see how he made that pass. But Summers is up in front now, being hounded by Loosenord. Tierney, Usher, and Finch behind. Don't be confused by the timing and scoring. They're a little bit off. A few drivers have taken a tow back to pit lane, and they'll be scored 1 or 2 spots back. Summers is your leader.
Merloso has trouble down in the boot. He was off track. Saved the car, though. Back into traffic and going.
Oh, and Cagnier, there's a lot to see. Cagnier and Sarah Dove also. Cagnier got loose right in front of Sarah Dove. Sarah had nowhere to go as she T-bones him. So lots of action here on the first 2 laps. We had a big one that took out about 4 drivers, then the one that Sean just talked about, and then the one with Cagnier and Sarah Dove. Pass for the lead. Here come Loosenord as they work their way. That's up the back straight now, heading up into the inner loop. He got that done coming out of the S's. Move Van Loosenord up into the lead. Summers back into second. Adam Tierney, the defending champion, got around that dark blue machine, Sean, of Mark Usher. Again, the passing zone looks to be, after they finish going through the S's, up that straight into the inner loop.
Yeah, and they punch a pretty good hole in the air, actually. A really, really good draft up through there. Watching Osterkamp holding off Dometer right now. Osterkamp just got around and made a big mistake. This is the battle for 17th. Osterkamp already up 5 spots here early. He was one of the cars that made it through that mess there at the back suit.
Yeah, when we called out the grid, we were surprised to see Renault Osterkamp so far back. You can see Dometer in 19th position now being challenged by Kmart, the orange Viking. Let's stay on this a minute as the Viking has a run up on him. Not going to be able to get this done yet. See, still on Dometer.
Turn 9, probably one of the toughest turns on this tracksuit. Such an easy spot to spin the car, even in this high downforce machine.
Go ahead, we've ran down the top 5 for you. Let's go up to 6th position real quick. This is Fabrizio Donoso. Now, Finch is running in 5th. Donoso is behind him in 6th. He's a rookie. We're going to find out about him as the season goes along. Let's back up to 7th. This is Jean-Francois Godin in 7th being challenged. Here he comes with a run. That is on the outside. Careful, that is Luke Barton. Remember, Barton was our fastest rookie driver right now. Donoso has got around him. Let's stay on this. My goodness. Barton is really squeezing the Frenchman out. The French-Canadian tries to get a run in there, and a little rhinoplasty from Barton as he chops off the nose of Godin. Godin loses a ton of momentum. That's going to get him back into the clutches of Scott Newton, Christian to catch, and Eric Andre. A great battle going on back there for 8th. Let's stay on the battle for 8th, as that is Newton trying now. Here comes Newton as he loses it to Andre. Newton falls back a spot, and now keep an eye on the guy in the very back. That's Christian to catch in the black, red, and white machine trying to get around. Boy, excitement racing for 8th spot.
Wheel-to-wheel battle for 15th. Just giving up. Well, now it's the battle for 16th because here comes Imre on Jansen. Or I'm sorry, on Dick Hortel. Jansen just got through that. Continues his assault on the field, up 5 spots.
Remember, Evan Emery was your Tier 2 champion last time. He has been promoted up with the big boys. Quickly up to 3rd position. This is Usher being hounded. All over the back of him is the defending champion, Adam Tierney. Oh, my goodness. Tierney on him tighter than a new pair of shoes on a rainy day. But now he loses momentum, and now here comes Finch. The blue car is Usher. Tierney is races 2nd in line. Finch, and the last car back there is the rookie, Fabrizio Donoso. Usher has fallen, oh my goodness, how about 3 seconds back to the guys up in front. That's Tierney now moves up into 3rd. Usher, Donoso, Finch now. We're going to watch the replay. Finch gets the spot back. We're going to ride on board with Finch.
Traveling up through the S's here. Trying to see what happens. Yeah, they're going to make wheel-to-wheel contact right here soon. This is not going to end well.
He's trying to go through the middle. Yeah, you can see Usher kind of move over. He loses all the momentum. He loses that spot to Donoso, but he gets it back. So the top from 3rd position back now. It's Tierney and Usher. They pulled themselves away a little bit. Let's look at the battle for 6th. So that continues. That is Finch and Donoso. Finch out in front for now. About 0.6 of a second ahead of Luke Barton. Things have settled down a little bit in the top 10. What do you got, Sean?
Things may have settled down in the top 10, but they haven't settled down around the track. Daniel Morris is trying to fend off Carl Jansen, the rookie, having quite a run. He is up 6 spots. The Scandinavian driving it really hard here early, and Morris got to be a little concerned by the pressure right now that he is receiving there from Carl Jansen.
Go ahead and stay on this one for a while until they get up to the passing zone. They work their way through 2, 3, and 4 through the S's. Then they get up to the back straight. Let's see what kind of run Carl can get. I like the position that he's in right now. He's got a good run. Now he's got the toe. Now he's going to go to the outside And actually, he's going to finish the job as Morris, I just kind of waves him by. It says, I'm happy. You go ahead, young man.
Yeah, well. Oh, another change for the lead up there, Sue.
Yeah, they've been working at it up here as Larson Nord is out in front now of Summers. These guys have distanced themselves almost 3 seconds ahead of Tierney. These guys seem to be the cream of the crop right now. Bad news for Charlie Summers is his season always seems to end early. No pun intended there, as Summers. What would be after Summers? What summer was spring? Fall? Yeah, fall comes his way.
The last time I checked, it was fall, Sue.
Not only do I not know my colors, learn my seasons. Here's a pass for the lead, though. Summers right now jumps out in front.
Soup, I'm still a little surprised they've been able to drop the field by about 3 seconds right now, considering all the battling they've been doing.
I don't know if it's battling and I don't know if it's dancing. I don't think they're fighting. Look, and here he comes back again, just getting in the toe. Each time they do this, Summers doesn't like to force the issue into the corner. He lets Losenord have it, and they just continue to win fast races. Boy, look at the runoff there that they have out of the 90. Tough work for Tierney right now as he's going to try to run them down. We've talked about your top 10, and we've done a little bit back into 11th position. Let's go back to 12th right now. This is that battle we were looking at. They are side by side, Jansen and Herman now. Jansen gets that done. Out in front is Patrick Kessler.
I mean, Jansen is just steady.
Yeah.
And picking up positions every lap or two here. He's now up 8 spots. He started 20th. Just been tiptoeing his way through the field. He's reeling in Kessler here. This is a good matchup.
Kessler coming back with the SimRC team, teamed up with Osterkamp. And what Sean likes to call that familiar Swiss cheese colored car. Here he comes. Jansen doing a great job. Kessler moving up into the Tier 1s this time. And to be honest, there is no Tier 1 championship. There's basically a Tier 2 champion and then an overall championship. So when I say Tier 1, that's kind of a misnomer.
Yeah. Tell you what, it is the invasion of radicals online, Soup, isn't it?
That's what happens a lot of times when you have GSRC on there. We start the quality always picks up a bit. We got some good ones here. Here comes the pass. Let's hang on for a second. Let's go with Jansen making the move, and then we'll go up to 5th position. Jansen gets that done. Let's go up, though, and just report what happened. Finch now has made his way around Donoso. No, actually, Donoso was making a run on him. Finch is able to hold him off. This is a nice battle going on between these two guys. They are running up on the back of Tierney, and I think Finch has a good run right now. He's got his wing tucked in, making a run, not going to get it done into the inner loop. A great 4-car battle here. The guy watching the whole thing happen back there is the rookie Luke Barton. Luke qualified 5th, is back a couple spots. There's another rookie right in front of him, though, Fabrizio Donoso. And Sean, when we say rookies for the new viewers, that doesn't mean that they're inexperienced drivers. That just means they are rookies to this series.
That's right. We'll use Carl Jansen as an example. He may have a rookie status here in the AOR, but hardly a rookie with a 5,300 I rating and A-class license. Alonso
was a rookie at Indianapolis 500. If that gives you an idea. Here comes the pass. Let's look at Donoso. Man, Donoso really pestering Finch, nipping at his tail feathers there, seeing if he can find any way around. Sean, Finch is another one of those drivers that we really saw come into his own at the end of Season 7. All of a sudden, the end of that season, all of a sudden he's running up front. He's top-tier driver now, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. Yeah, so good call. Finch, definitely one of the up-and-comers, for sure. I love watching all the many different lines out of the 90. There's about 50 different lines that you can take there. So much runoff down there that they run into.
Yeah.
And you get all this speed into the inner loop. Side by side, it's man, Kessler and Carl Jansen just getting friendly early. I think is maybe not overstating that.
Well, Jansen has places to go. Leading that whole group is Jean-Francois Godin up in racing in 8th position. Then there's Newton to catches in there. Kessler is a little bit far back. Jansen would like to get around Kessler and see if he can get up to the next group of kids to play with.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. He's been around Kessler. Now Kessler keeps fighting with him. These two are not making much progress now because it looks like Carl Jansen might have met his match here finally for the first time in this race.
Well, race fans can relate to that. Sometimes water finds its level, and what was easier to get through when you're going through guys in 21st or 22nd, maybe not the case when you get up to 12th or 13th. Let's go back to 18th position just to get a little love here to a rookie, Matthew Willett. He's just ahead of Knut Martinson. And Sean, remember the key point that you want to be in, where before when we would do these things, we'd see who was last on the lead lap. That's not going to be the case this time. Let's drop back and see who is racing actually in 20th position.
Well, I can tell you who it is now. It's Tom Van Hoyman just getting by Christian Tkach, who has gone to the pits.
There you go. To catch the first of our top drivers to actually come off. To catch the Season 6 champion. Also another name who have taken, Evan Emre has taken their stop as well. Both those cars come in, do a relatively normal pit stop time for per second for Tkach, 5.4 for Emre. That's within the margin of error. Tkach comes out now racing in 22nd position, the leader of all the cars who have pitted. You look at him right now, what he doesn't want to do is be held up by some of the guys who have yet to make their pit stop. For example, the driver in 21st, Rudolf Nagel. A Red Devil racer would really like to see Nagel come in now, maybe make a stop. 25 minutes of racing to go. Up front, they continue to do their dance. Let's check in on them a little bit. Not sure how many passes there have been for the lead, but it really hasn't been all that hotly contested. Ben Lersenord out in front right now. Charlie Summers right behind him, and that's how they race for now. Sean, I think things might be a little different when we get closer to the end.
Starting to see some changes here at the top. Some people in the top 10 coming in. Newton's in, Carl Jansen's in, Osterkamp is in, all in the lane now.
Well, this is Jansen's opportunity to get around the guys he's been having trouble with. Of course, rookies, see how familiar they are of making pit stops. Look at the pit stop time. Everybody clean. Sean, I have not really seen a horrible pit stop other than one from Stefan Larkamp who was in there for about 30 seconds. Everybody else pretty well within that, that time by Scott Newton. How about this? 3.8 seconds.
Yeah. Boy, Newton really got in and out of there quick, Soup. He'll be the one to watch. He leads everyone that's pit now. Cycles back out into 18th. And looks like Nagel getting past there by Tkach.
That's what Tkach, he did not want to be held up. He is racing now with Newton out in front of him. That gap is about just under a second. In fact, you can see, though, those are the guys who are leading of all the cars who have pitted. Newton out in front with that fast stop. His stop was about a second less of fuel that he took. Now, Newton, though, right, he's from in the southern hemisphere, and I'm telling you, the Coriolis effect matters. The pit stops are faster if you're in South America or Australia. The fuel runs faster out of the nozzle. I've seen it time after time.
That sounds like an episode of Mythbusters there,
No,
Sue.
there you go. You know, it's what makes like a hurricane or a typhoon. They spin different directions. I'm telling you, it flows faster. And that's why that Australian driver is out there in front, Scott Newton.
Battle for fourth heating up. Tierney under threat from Finch. Boy, Donoso having really bad connection problems behind him there, Sue.
Yeah.
He's blinking in and out quite a bit.
It'll be interesting when these guys decide to come in. If they can get this done early, they really don't want to be fooling around too much. You know, the guy we haven't talked much about, if we can move up, that's fifth, we're looking at, go up 2 spots to Mark Usher. Usher is fast, but I think he has met his match today in the form of Van Losenord and Summers.
Yeah, they keep, boy, they just keep getting away from him a little bit more every lap, Soup. But what Usher has done a really good job of is holding onto this podium spot.
Right.
Tierney's not been able to catch him until just right now. Now Tierney's got it to right at about a half a second here. Finally starting to catch onto the coattails here of Mark Usher. But for most of this race, it's been Usher all alone in third with very, very little threat from behind.
Yeah, I hate to use this phrase because it's kind of condescending, but Usher might be the best of the rest here if you take Losenord and Summers out of the mix. Talk about Tierney. Again, this kind of sounds like a backhanded compliment as well, because certainly he is fast, but he also knows how to bring the car home. If he has a choice of bringing it home in fourth, a guaranteed fourth, or a possible third with a chance of being last, Adam's the kind of guy, he'll take the fourth, especially this early on in the season. He'd like to get himself another championship.
Bruno Dometer is in on pit lane now. He's going to get passed by a lot of cars there.
Right now, the car in the transfer spot is Carl Jansen, but that's all misleading because there's a lot of he's taken his pit stop, and a lot of guys haven't. But what is interesting is Jansen is behind to Catch and Newton. Those are your top guys who've pitted.
Yeah.
Jansen will want to make quick work here of Rudolf Nagel as well. Poor Rudolf getting a lot of screen time. You see him in that yellow car. Just back in there he is. Just kind of... We love you, Rudolph. I've been there. You're doing a great job. This just seems like the guys are pitting right behind you, and they're cycling out right behind you.
Rudolph having a good drive. He's still up 10 spots, considering where he's at right now, Sue. But Carl Jansen starting to pick up on him after that pit stop that he had. Now the goal for Jansen now just to try and catch Newton as quick as he can.
Let's go up to fourth real quick, Darister. This is Adam Tierney being pressured by Finch. And Sean, we talked about what Usher was doing. Usher finally be able to usher himself up a little bit now away from Tierney as he's racing all by himself in third. But there you can look at the run that Finch has. All right, now I'm going to be looking at that car all season. Look at Finch, Sean. Help me out with the with my rods and cones. I'm thinking black and yellow. Am I right on that?
Oh, okay. We're gonna go with a navy blue and a lime green Soup.
Okay.
Yeah, with purple wheels.
0 for 2. My 9-year-old niece watched one of these broadcasts, and she came to me and said, "Uncle Soup, I'm sorry you never learned your colors."
Well, you know what? I truly enjoy helping you figure them out, buddy. So no worries. I got you.
Navy blue and lime is what Harrison Finch is running in.
Man, Kessler really being pressured by Herman right now. These two still have to make a pit stop. Maybe Herman not putting on too much pressure. Don't want to make a mistake here heading into the pit stop. I begin to wonder if maybe they're hitting that window now, actually setting up for it.
Sean, it got a little ugly early on as we look off the tailpipe of Patrick Kessler. First couple laps, a little bit hectic, but things settled down a little bit after that.
Luke Barton, the rookie, is in. Coming down the lane now. Soup, I estimate there's about 11 laps left in this race. Just over 17 minutes to go. It's definitely in the pit window for a lot of these drivers.
With Barton coming in, let's see if we can pick up Newton right now. This is a battle. Newton is right behind Van Heumen. Newton is the leader of all the cars who have pitted. We'll see if Barton can get out in front. And in fact, Luke is out. Yeah. Barton well out in front now. About 2.5 seconds ahead of Newton, so not even close. Top 13 cars yet to pit. 2 of those are kind of back markers. It's Stefan Herman and Patrick Kessler. Don't expect them to be able to hold on to that position much, but other big names, Godard, Donoso, Finch, Tierney, Usher, Summers, Ben Nord. Those guys should be able to get out before Luke comes around. Take a look here at Scott Newton. Might have had a little bit of an issue. As he was working through the inner loop. Right on board with Scott. That's a little bit, track was a little bit more to the left there. Probably a slowdown penalty on that one, Sean, I would think.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, he's fallen back now as maybe we can go to 15th position real quick. This is a nice little battle. This is to catch, and Van Heumen getting out of the way, and then here's Newton coming in as well. Now, Van Heumen, we'll go with Heumen. What do you say on that one, Sean? We'll make that.
I'm pretty sure it's Van Heumen. Yeah.
He still needs to make his stop.
He does.
Okay.
Yes. Sue.
I made a mistake, but I'm only Van Heumen.
Yes.
Stole that one from Joe Peak last week.
Oh, Soup.
Credit where credit is due. And then this is a fun one. If we stay on this battle for 15th there, you're looking at Newton. Then you have Van Heumen behind him. And then the guy we've been watching all race, Carl Jansen, is back there as well.
He has made it to the party. Newton was the driver he was really trying to catch. And he's got him just up in front. He got to get through Van Heumen here. Boy, and Newton got his own little battle there, though, going on with catch.
Finally, Jansen gets that one done. Now he can run down the 2 guys that let me say he's got that done. Now he's got it done. I like Van Heumen. He's a tough son of a gun there. Let's go up to the lead real quick because things have kind of stretched out a little bit. Martin van Loosenoord has opened it up to almost 2 seconds now over Summers.
Yeah, Summers' pace has seemed to tailed off just a bit here, Sue. Don't want to let Van Loosenoord get too far ahead.
And then if we go ahead and drop back again, we'll give you an update on Mark Usher. Remember, he was in that battle with Tierney. He's opened it up a bit, about 1.5 seconds. But Tierney has his mirrors full of Finch. Finch will not let him go.
Oh, to catch makes a big mistake there coming out of the final turn. That allows Newton to get around. Carl Jansen going to go to the inside here in the 90. Oh!
A little bit of where is Jansen from? Wherever he's from, they have elbows there, I think.
And we're going to watch that again. They come down. We'll start with the mistake that Tkach makes here. Car's just going to get loose on him.
I think he gets a little bit of the wall. Yo, he sure does. Not even a little.
Yeah.
That allows Newton by. And then Jansen says, I'm coming through too. And he has to kind of help him a little bit. Ooh. Well, Sean, in Jansen's defense, it's kind of hard to tell where the racing line is there with the that runoff area there.
Yeah,
It
agreed.
looks like, you say, well, you came all the way over, you didn't leave any room. Well, really, the racing line goes on the other side of that curving.
Okay, Mark Usher's in. Just peels off, coming down the pit lane.
I don't see any reason why Usher's stop should be anything but fast.
All
I
right.
don't think he's had contact with anybody.
All right, Kessler's in. I'm focused on Luke Barton right now. Barton getting through turn 10, now going down to 11.
Usher finally hits his box. He's in. The car does not go up on the jacks, and now he's rolling.
Here comes Barton. Cross start finish line right now.
Usher's into pit exit, and he's back out on the track. Well ahead of Barton.
Barton back there takes the angle way too wide through the 90. Gets way outside, has to cut it back across. It scuffed off a little bit of speed for him there. He knew where Usher was. He was digging, trying to get to him. Can't pull it off.
About 2.5 seconds between Usher and Barton, and that also includes the cushion of Kmart. Knut Martinson racing in 11th position, yet to make his stop. 9 cars ahead of Usher have yet to stop. Behind Usher, Martinson has yet to make his stop.
And I'll keep a close eye on Usher Soup, as we do expect those 9 in front of him here to get these pit stops done pretty quick. Usher got the lap car, Yuri Mochak, right in front of him. He's going to get by. Mochak pulls out of the way.
Racing in 10th is Usher. We drop back a little bit. Let's go to 11th position real quick.
Ooh,
This is
hang on, Soup.
Go ahead.
Here come the leaders. Van
All right.
Luzendorf and Charlie Summers, Adam Tierney, Harrison Finch, Denoso, all going to follow suit. Francois Godin.
10.5 minutes of racing to go. Let's see how they do. The only one they're really concerned about would be Usher. Van Lozendort is first to his box. He hits that perfect, as does Summers. They won't
Here
be
comes
there
Usher.
long.
Usher going across the start-finish line now.
Lozendort is on the exit lane. He is back out on the track. Summers is as well. Now look at this. Here comes Tierney, and he's jumped Usher.
Ooh.
For now.
What a stop by Tierney, but no, he
Usher's
doesn't have
hungry.
enough speed. Tierney doesn't have enough speed there. Still trying to get that car cranked up. Here comes Usher.
Tierney will be on the preferred line going into the bus stop. Boy, he's trying to ease Mark over a little bit to get a better entry. He gets in there first. Can he get a load up coming out? They do. Let's stay on this a bit more, as Usher would really want that spot back. Mark's going to be saying, I worked so hard to get a 1.5 second lead on you, and then I lose it all in the pit stop. My goodness. All over the back of Tierney. Now trying around the outside of the chute. Let's stay on it as they go down into the toe. And again, Tierney plays defense. I can report while this is going on. Van Hoyman has had an off. We're not going to cover it, though. Finally, Usher gets the pass made. He goes through the heel. And now, honestly, Sean, this is the toughest corner for me. I can never get corner 9 right. It doesn't have a name. The name I give it, I can't tell you.
Yeah, no, I really think 9, I think universally is considered the toughest turn on this track in this configuration. Yeah, I've been watching this battle with Barton and Francois Godin. It's intense, man. Right now, Godin getting the better of it, but look out. Barton is right there with him. 6 laps to go, Soup. Maybe 5.
It's so fun. Barton, a rookie. We don't know what we're getting. We're learning them. We get to know these drivers. Jean-Francois Godin, we've seen for the very beginning of GSRC, has been covering these things. But right now, Barton looking for a way around. Here he comes. I've noticed that Barton look how he squeezes them over. He wants every ounce of lane there. Really pins Godin in.
Well, he really did.
That's some good racecraft. Maybe, depending on your point of view. Yeah.
Hi, Arthur. Go ahead, Soup.
Arthur Hector says very Senna-esque, and that's really what it was.
Didn't give him
It
a
looks
whole lot of
pretty when
options there. Yeah.
Looks pretty when it works. So now Godin back into 7th, and Fabricio Donoso in 8th now. Remember, there are multiple championships going on. How about our top Tier 2 driver? Just drop a little bit back. Behind Donoso is 8th, Scott Newton, leading our Tier 2 championship. And then let's go back to 11th position. We got to give some love to him. He's 2nd in the Tier 2 drivers. Stefan Herman. Have not talked much about him. Started 14th, up a few spots.
Yeah, you know what? It's a shame we haven't talked about him because he's been involved in several battles throughout the race. So right now, the biggest one is catching Carl Jansen and trying to get into the top 10. He's got his work cut out for him. We're running out of time here. Only 6.5 minutes left, Soup.
Really are finding some fun drivers to watch. The guys who have caught my eye, Carl Jansen, he is aggressive. And then Luke Barden. Luke is going to make a name for himself with his racecraft skills.
The battle for 20th going on here by the teammates. Knut Martinsson and Evan Imre holding down 19th and 20th right now. In their new liveries this season. I don't know if you'd noticed that there, Soup.
Yeah, I do. I like what Force Fissy has on there. Help me out with colors. Let's look at Martinson. That's a yellow car, I would imagine, right? With what color trim? Is that like a blue trim?
It's black. It's black and yellow.
Yeah.
All right, our director says blue. All right, so there is some blue mixed in with that. Yeah, it's blue, black, and yellow. Right, there we go.
And the other car behind him is similar painted, but his trim is, well, let me take a shot of this, my little niece. Here you go, Sammy. Green? Is that what I see there on Emery?
Purple.
Yeah, I think Sean may not have the right. Oh, what we do have is a pass, though. Let's stay on this. The two guys battling at it. Oh, careful, Force Fissy. Racing 19th and 20th. I don't think Force Fissy would be happy in that position right now where they are. Boy, that's some nice, what my dad would call hospice racing, where you're surrounded by loved ones. Martinson and Imre out racing in 19th and 20th. Do they have to worry? Well, go back to 21st, because here's a man who's got a job. Robin Banks Bondon, as he's trying to come on in, see if he can catch these guys. If he can get to 20, he'll be gridded on the poles. Look at that battle for 20th. Nothing going on up front. Van Lucendord well out in front now. 1.7 seconds ahead of Charlie Summers.
Jeroen de Cortel is still fighting off Daniel Morris. Morris has lost 2 positions in this race. He would love to at least get one of them back here. The assault on de Cortel continues. But he, like everybody else, is just about out of time here, Soup.
How about a quick replay? Can we go to Stefan Herman? It just happened as I'm talking, maybe 30 seconds back. Looks like he had an off. He's having a nice run. He was racing in 11th. Almost gave it away here. He goes wide out of a corner, almost puts it in the wall, and he's able to let Osterkamp go by. There, stay on this for a minute. You can see Osterkamp back in the yellow machine. It's been a good run for him. We talked about Van Newman being Stefan Herman being the best of the Tier 2 drivers. And there, and momentum goes to Osterkamp. Scott Newton now our top Tier 2 driver. Scott Newton, Stefan Herman, race 1-2. Uh-oh. I thought maybe something happened to Carl Jansen, but I guess he's okay. Everything going all right. Things have settled down now with just under 3 minutes of racing to go.
Yeah, what? Does nobody want to race anymore, Soup? I mean, come on.
I think they're just looking to bring it home now.
Well, yeah, you know what? The sprint is a very, very important race right now. I think if you're sitting inside this top 20, you got to feel pretty good where you're at. obviously not much time can be made up at this point.
A driver to keep an eye on when we get to the sprint race. Go to 16th position, Director Christian to catch. He's probably faster than his position right now shows. He qualified 8th, racing in 16th. He'll get a clean car. There, Christian is back in 17th spot. I apologize. Trying to run down if you can. He's got Daniel Morris up there. That's his teammate in front of him.
Well, directly in front of him, he's got Matthew Woollett, actually. Woollett right in front of to catch here, and that is for position.
Yeah, there we go.
Try and get to 16th, maybe.
Yeah, Morris just got around a Woollett as well. But the point is, he'll be fast and he'll get a good grid spot racing at 17th. That'll put him on the outside of row 2. 1.5 minutes of racing to go. It has all been early on. Martin van Loosenoord and Charlie Summers. But then when we got a little farther into the book, Van Loosenoord was able to open up a bit. And now as we reach the final chapter, looks like Van Loosenoord's just going to be able to bring this home. Lap times of about 1:42 with less than a minute to go. I think we are on the white flag lap right now. So stay on it now. Then Loosenoord making his way through the chute. Maybe not. Are we confident this is the white flag lap? I think maybe get the white flag this time around here through the toe.
I think so, Soup.
Go. We'll stay on it. We haven't given Martin much love anyway. Let's see what type of racing line he takes as he comes into the heel.
Boy. I'm going to continue to follow this. There is action for 20th spot.
We'll go right back there real soon. We just have to get as Martin van Loosenoord season number 8 debut in the feature race. Corner number 11 to go. Nothing between him and the checkered flag. Give the win to Martin van Loosenoord. Let's go all the way back to what you're watching, Sean.
Soup, Knut Martinson and Evan Imre been playing around, and they left the door open for Robin Bondon.
He wants that spot.
Boy, he really does. He's got a couple chances left here to get it. Imre, go ahead.
This is, I think, to get the official, that I think our timing and scoring might be off by 1. I think that is for the 20th spot Bondon is trying to get to. I show him in 21st.
Right.
He's showing, so don't be fooled. Sometimes our timing and scoring, I think this is really important. But I don't think he's going to get there. The two Force Fissy drivers get through that final corner. And they're going to come home. Well, it's going to be 19th and 20th. And Robin Banks Bondon is going to be in 21st. Not going to get the benefit of the regrid.
Sean, he did college try.
Sean, we have a lot of new viewers here, so we have to tell them what, Sean, is the best part of any doubleheader.
Soup, the best part of any doubleheader event is the break between races. It's the perfect blend of the post-race high and the pre-race jitters. At this point, GSRC is going to step away for just a moment, but we will return during the break between the feature and sprint races to run down the entire feature race results and talk to a few drivers. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Championship here in Season 8 debut at Watkins Glen. Time to run down the finishing order of the feature race that just concluded. Well, it wasn't wire to wire as he swapped the positions back with Charlie Summers for the lead, but in the end, it was Martin van Loosenoord gets the win by over 1.7 seconds over Charlie Summers. Mark Usher was able to get third, Adam Tierney and Harrison Fitch go fourth and fifth. Jean-Francois Godin, Fabricio Donoso, Luc Barton, the rookie, in eighth position. Our top Tier 2 driver, Scott Newton, in ninth, and Carl Jansen in 10th. Sean?
All right, in 11th, going to go to Renee Osterkamp, up 11 spots to get their soup. Stefan Herman, 12th. Patrick Kessler, 13th, 14th. Going to go to Jeroen de Cortel. Daniel Morrison, 15th. Matthew Willett there will finish 16th today. 17th, Christian Tkach. 18th, Bruno Dometer, right where he started. Knut Martinson, there in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 for the inversion, Evan Imre.
Back the curtain here on a GSRC production. We forgot to update the paint schemes for Force Fissy there, so when we look at the sprint race, we'll be seeing hopefully Knut Martinson and Evan Imre in their new schemes for season number 8. In the blackjack position, boy, in this series, the blackjack position is very disappointing as you are just missed being in the pole position for the sprint race. It is Robin Banks, Bardon. In the double duck spot, Rudolf Nagel. Yunus, Fast and Lucky Vastamaki. I don't know if he was either of those today, as he is in 23rd position. Connor Ryan behind him. Guilherme Toledo, he started in 40th, up 15 spots into 25th. Alexis Merloso, Miguel Antolin. Sarah Dove found trouble early on, I think in lap 2. She's going to be in 28th position. The Pennsylvania driver, Stefan Larkamp, in 29th, rounding out the top 30. Tom Van Hoyeman. Sean?
All right, and in 31st, it's going to be Yuri Mochak and Alec Hudson going to finish 32nd. Enric Andre, 33rd. Casper Thron, 34th. 35th, going to go to Christoph Holstein. Again, a lot of these drivers involved in that first lap incident there. Hugo Quignet going to finish 36th. 37th, Ty McLeod. 38th, Ziv Sade. And 39th, Robin Steffers. And 40th, Nick Carroll.
The big-name rookies doing really well. Fabricio Donoso had a 7th place finish. Luke Barton right behind him in 8th. And Carl Jansen, all 3 of those drivers got a lot of screen time. They put on a good show. Our Tier 2 drivers who did well, Scott Newton, Stefan Herman, and Jeroen de Cortel. Boy, we keep waiting for de Cortel to have one of those breakout races. It's going to happen soon. Look for him to work his way up as the season goes on. Nobody here to talk to us yet, Sean, so let's go ahead. Look at those standings. Again, we talked about maybe the best driver that's down at the bottom of that top 20 there, where Emery, boy, you hate to throw away Emery and Martinson. Those guys are no slouches as well. Emery, Martinson, and Tkach should be a pretty good front 2 rows.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty competitive front 2 rows there, definitely. That is a, well, you got a couple Scandinavians there. That's always a challenge. Of course, the teammates, Martinson and Emre. It's and then, Daniel Morris. Let's not leave Morris and de Cortel out either. They're up there. Kessler, Herman. If you just won this feature race, you better be happy with that, because it's going to be awful tough to get back to the front there for Summers and Loosenoord.
Well, what we're going to do right now is take another short break so we can get all of our ducks in a row and bring you the 25-minute sprint race that'll be just about launching real soon. So we'll take a short break. We'll be back in just a few. Don't go far. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Season 8 Championship, the debut race from Watkins Glen. The feature is in the books. Now let's turn our attention to what's coming up. Here's Sean Crackers Ambrose to tell us about the sprint race.
Yes, Soup. Let's talk about the sprint race real quick here. It's 25 minutes. Yes, 25 very, very fast minutes around Watkins Glen. We're going to invert the top 20, as we've been talking about here, and it's going to be exciting watching this field work with a very, very fast top 20 cars here. Pit stops. Well, you're not going to need one in this race. In fact, if you're in the pits, then you've lost all chances of winning this one. Now, the incident cap goes down to 11 here. We didn't see anybody get in trouble, as I suspected there in the first race. I knew we'd probably be okay. I think we'll be okay here in the sprint as long as you can stay out of the trouble on those first couple of laps. Now, fast repair, something new implemented last season that they experimented with. We're keeping it. You will get one fast repair if you need it. So if you do get wrecked out, first lap, second lap, any point during the race, you can take a tow or limp it back in, get that fast repair and get back on track, and maybe have a chance to at least salvage a good points day, of which will be reduced here. They knocked those points down just a little bit here in the sprint session. Sorry, I was stumbling there to find what word I wanted to say, Bill.
Why don't we go ahead and take a quick look at the point system? We're not going to show you this every week, so you guys pay attention right now. You can see that the yellow numbers there are that's what you get for winning the feature racing. So you get 32 for winning that one compared to 20 for winning the sprint. So if you just want a simple math, think about 2/3 value. What they have done, though, there are some bonus points, and they've added an interesting bonus point this time, Sean. You get one, of course, for the feature pole, and you get one for a fast lap in either the sprint or the feature race. But what they have done now is they're offering 2 points if you manage to get yourself a 0 incident, and 1 point if you only get one. So pays to be clean.
It certainly does. And you know what, Soup? This not a bad track to get that started with. You can certainly get around Watkins Glen without any incidents if you've got some experience here and you're good in this car. This car is perfect for this track. Lots of speed, lots of downforce, and Watkins Glen sets up well for that, Soup, as we saw here in the feature race. But the sprint race, throw all that out the window. It's all about surviving that first lap, isn't it?
It is. And remember, we've done this a lot of times. In fact, when you come back and watch us next week, as we'll give you the countdown to green for race number 2, we'll review the top point score for this event. You don't necessarily have to be a winner to win the day. You can certainly, if you find yourself with a second and a second, that's enough often to be the big points winner, which is really the goal. Yeah, you maybe not get the fame, you don't get the trophy to take home with you, but you do get the biggest amounts of points, which is the best way to get your championship. You want to do the math: 32 points for a win, 20 points in a win in the feature, 20 points for a win in the sprint, a possible 7 bonus points, add it all up, a perfect day, a 300 bowling day if you're a American baseball fan, 27 up, 27 down. How about this? It would be, 59 points for a perfect day if you're in the AOL. That's what everyone's shooting for.
The magic number is 59, buddy.
59. Now, Sean, we talked about the double. That's always an impressive feat to do, where you win the feature, you win the sprint. Maybe a little easier this season, as they are inverting only the top 20. If this was yesteryear, the field would have been a little deeper, as there were more than 20 drivers, I believe, on the lead lap. So maybe then Usanor, the shot to get all the way through, is certainly fast enough.
Well, okay. Can I be devil's advocate here?
All right.
Maybe harder, because the top 20 is filled with better drivers.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. That could go either way, but I'm going to say it again. I think Mr. Lusenord has got his work cut out for him. That's a pretty good list of 19 drivers ahead of him that he's going to have to work his way through.
It might not be the drivers that are starting up in the front rows. He's got to work his way around some big names like Charlie Summers will be in front of him. Mark Usher finally will be ahead of him. I'm not sure Usher's going to be that easy to get around. So yeah, it'll be fun. Hopefully it'll be clean.
Right. And that's, that's where you get in that sprint mentality gets you into trouble a little bit. You maybe you're unhinged a bit when this thing drops green and that light comes on. You kind of forget who you are, maybe for just a brief second. So everybody got to just try and keep it cool, make it through the S's, and get onto the straight, and then let things kind of sort themselves out a bit before you get to the inner loop. That's probably not going to happen. We'll probably see 3 wide trying to go into the inner loop. I hope not. If we do, then there's probably going to be trouble.
Just a few seconds left here in practice. There is no qualifying as the grid is set based on the results from the previous race. We're going to jump to give you the grid as soon as we can, as it's a standing start. We can't get there early because iRacing won't populate it until the very last minute, which is going to be right. See this dramatic pause? Now. And here we have our grid coming up at this very minute, and it's going to be on the front. There we have it. It is Rolling Thunder, Evan Emre, inside of his teammate, Knut Martinson, Bruno Dometer, and Christian to catch. Watch out for him. He's going to be fast. Matthew Willett and Daniel Morris. The next row, Jeroen de Cortel, Patrick Kessler. 9th and 10th, Stefan Herman and Renee Osterkamp.
All right, Soup. Then we're going to go to 11th. It's going to be the very fast Carl Jansen starting in 11th. Wow. Scott Newton, 12th. Luke Barton, that rookie there, in 13th. Fabrizio Donoso, 14th. Francois Godin, 15th. 16th, going to go to Harrison Finch. And Adam Tierney, 17th. 18th, Mark Usher. Charlie Summers in 19th. And Van Loozenrood in 20th.
Robin Banks Madon in the blackjack spot. Rudolph Nagel behind him. Jonas Fast and Lucky Vastamaki. Connor Ryan. Guillermo Toledo. Alexis Merlioso. Miguel Antolin. Sarah Dove. Tom Van Humen. And Jerry Mojak. We're going to make it, Sean, 31st.
I don't know. It's going to be Alec Hudson, Eric Andre, Casper Thron, Christoph Holstein, Hugo Cognier. Let's go, Soup.
Yeah, they're up the chicken steak, cover behind the cows because the horses are out of the barn, and it is Evan Emre leading the stampede down into the first corner. Keep it clean, boys. Dometer tucks into second. Martinson takes a wide line through. He's going to be able to hang on to third. The catch, the driver to watch out for in fourth. Rounding out to top 5, Matthew Willett.
Donoso went power sliding through the 90. He manages to get back on track in front of traffic. They're all able to clear him and get by.
The big names, Usher up to 15th already. Godin, Lorsenord in 17th spot. The big names are oh my goodness, back there, and the big guys are really battling, but they managed to get through. Somebody cut the chicane, but so far, whew, Sean, the big guys are racing hard.
Yes, they are, Soup. Wow. Usher just avoided a bunch of trouble. He's back here in 15th, working his way on the outside here as they head on down into the toe.
We're looking at that right now. We'll stay on that one. I can just report that Emre's out in front, Martinson to catch, Willett and Nacortel. Not a lot of fighting going on up front. They are just trying to put in the hot laps. The excitement is back there in that pinata full of bees. One driver is slow.
Yeah, that's Bruno. Dometer is slow. Big trouble for Dometer.
Other than Dometer, everybody else is okay. Well, that's Dometer. That's the driver that cut the course.
Boy, we did have a big incident involving Sarah Dove.
Boy, a bad race for her. Bad weekend for her.
She got off in the grass. It looked like it was, it's a big, big accident. Collected a lot of cars, actually. Ty McLeod was in that.
Yeah, Dometer actually has had a spin as well. Nagel has had some issues.
Yeah, and Eric Andre was in that too, Soup. That one with Sarah Dove. Sarah
Dove one was ugly. She got off on the grass and came right back in front. Oh my goodness, right back in front of Andre. Now we're looking at Martin Van Loozenhoorn still struggling to get up. He's only made up about 5 spots. Right now as he's racing, he's got Mark Usher ahead of him. We talked about how hard Usher would be to get around. All this going on behind the Rolling Thunder, who's out in front by 1.2 seconds over his teammate, Knut Martin.
Well, Soup back here still coming up through the field. It's Van Luzenoord and Summers. Now they're side by side coming out of the toe. Well, right now, it's Van Luzenoord getting the best of it. Summers tried to take that position away. It didn't work. Look at all this traffic up in front of him, though. Big trouble up there. Usher, Finch, and Newton.
Then it go up with Kessler trying to defend off Newton, who's trying to go around the outside. Kessler doing a good job. Newton goes very wide. That's a battle for 12th position. Osterkamp and Herman racing up there in 10th. This is why, though, Sean, you've made a point of it. This is why Luzenoord can't go anywhere. Oh, my, there's the contact. That's Summers. He got into it with Finch. Finch got into the back. Yes, Finch got into the back of Scott Newton. Gave Scott Newton a bump. That put Finch off wide. When he came back on, Charlie Summers had nowhere to go. Watch Finch. Just the car up ahead. One little bump here. Oh, there you see Finch off, and boom. Charlie Summers gets right up in the back of him.
Daniel Morris making big gains into the inner loop. Takes over the 7th spot from Luke Barton. Barton fighting back as they head out of the carousel. Down into the chute. Oh, Herman with a big off.
He was racing ahead of all those guys in 9th position.
Coming out of the inner loop, he's going to lose it in the inner loop, and boy, he's going to hit that tire barrier awful hard. Remember, he'll get a chance with that fast repair.
But they'll be long gone. He'll get to finish the race, but he's not going to get a good position. Ouch. Okay, we got to go up front more or less. 2nd position. This is Kmart. He is holding back Carl Jansen. Jansen really would like to get the win right now, racing in 3rd. Back in 4th, though, follow a little bit back. Willette is being challenged by Tkach. We thought Tkach would be good. He has not been able to make up any ground at all. He's in a battle with Jeroen de Courtrell. So a battle for 4th position between 3 cars and a battle for 2nd position between Martinson and Jansen. Sean, all this going on behind a really tough Evan Emery, who's just driving away.
Yeah, well, he is right now. He better keep driving. He better keep wheeling it because Van Luzenoord and is moving up through the field. He just gets another spot here, and that puts him up to 11th. Already gained 9 spots.
Look at that battle that we're watching for 4th. The car on the outside, that is Willette. He's a rookie. Oh, boy, and he gets enough room. I thought that De Courtrell was going to get into him. That's De Courtrell side by side, leading those guys to catch. Tkach has got to be happy that he's around those guys. Courtrell in 5th, Willette in 6th, Tkach up to 4th now. Let's go to 4th position because here he comes racing, trying to chase down Knut Martinson. And there you get an eye. You can look at Knut Martinson's new paint scheme. Go ahead, Sean.
Vastamaki just had huge trouble coming out of the inner loop. Christoph Holstein trying to avoid him, goes into his spin. Nobody hits Vastamaki. Amazing.
They went trying to squeeze through behind the trees. Oh, and Vastamaki. Sometimes, oh my goodness, boy, some lucky drivers there as he's brought it
really
right back
lucky.
out onto the track.
You said it, buddy. Very, very lucky.
Okay, our timing is scoring a little bit off, but Emery is still our leader. Oh, let's go to 2nd position now. Jansen has got around Knut Martinson. Hansen is on a run.
You still had Von Hansen's meat market on your mind. I know what you were doing there. Holstein with trouble. Christoph Holstein with trouble. What happened with Holstein? Did I miss that? Did we miss it? Oh, there we go. He was in the inner loop. That's right. That's right. He was avoiding. My bad, folks. He was avoiding that action with Vastamaki. I called it. Vastamaki in the pits now, actually. Gets his fast repair back underway.
So to catch now up to third.
Was that Tierney and DeCourtel? It was Adam Tierney and Jerome DeCourtel. I think they were separate incident. Well, no, it was. Geez, that was tough for Tierney. He guessed wrong. You're to see it here on the replay. We'll see DeCourtel spin. His car is going to zip back across the track. Tierney back here got a decision to make. And he's going to get into DeCourtel. Well, we didn't catch it there at the end of the replay. Tierney limping around with a busted up car right now, sure to come in for a pit stop. He's got no front end left on that machine.
Let's go to sixth position, Mark Usher. Remember, he raced third in the feature. He's fast. He is now working on the back of Matthew Willett. He'd like to get this pass made, and then he can start to run down the guys that are in the big points. Here comes the pass. Look for that dark blue car that gets in there. Now, just ahead, that is Knut Martinson, and actually Willett had to kind of slow down a little bit to make sure he didn't get into the back of Martinson. So Usher gets that pass made. And now let's go ahead and give a little love to the new paint scheme. There's Knut Martinson in the new Force Fissy colors. There you go. That's the magic of iRacing. Boy, that's a fast-looking car there for Force Fissy. Not going to be fast enough, though, to stay ahead of Mark Usher, as he's got places to go. Now, Usher, though...
Oh, big trouble for Van Loosenord coming out of the inner loop soup.
He had just got around Osterkamp. The car got loose on him. Doesn't hit anything, I don't think.
Wow. Boy, Kessler and Godin just get by him there on the inside.
But how about a tip of the hat to Van Loosenord? After all of that, he could have put the foot down and spun the car around right in front of him. Watch this. Watch how patient he is. Let's stay on this a minute. Right here, he waits. He waits. He waits. He backs up, and he doesn't cause anybody any trouble. Nice job.
They didn't have to break. They didn't have to break pace at all.
It didn't have to go that way. Okay, let's go to the lead. Oh my goodness, we've missed it. He got him. While we're looking at that, Jansen has got to Emre. We're trying to see how long ago it was. Was it this lap? It might have been a while. It was this lap.
Yeah, no, it did just happen. I'm trying to go back to it now.
We'll see if we can get that pass for the lead, if we can find it. Might want to not worry about it, because right now I think we're going to have another pass. This is a great battle right now, because here comes the Rolling Thunder. Coming back is going to be 3 wide. The guy coming through the middle. Clowns to the left of me, Jokers to the right. The man in the middle in the Steelers wheel position. That is Christian to catch. They get it sorted out. Emre was the Joker. Jansen was the Clown. To catch, able to get at least one spot right now as he moves up into second.
Boy, Carl Jansen, the rookie, looking for a big win here. He's going to take second place.
He is exciting. Rhinoplasty as he chops the nose off of to catch. Here comes the dark blue car of Mark Usher. It's a 4-car battle. The fastest one might be Usher.
Usher started to lose a little grip there. He's got to back out of it.
Emre, the leader. Jansen, the rookie, in second, looking for any way around. To catch, Season 6 champion, trying to get a win. And Mark Usher, he qualified fast, got a third in the feature. I think, as far as speed goes, they might be racing in inverse order right now. Although Sean, Jansen is pretty quick.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I'm Emre. I'm white knuckling it right now, trying to keep Jansen away from me.
Okay, here comes Usher. He's going to get to the inside as they head down into the 90. I think that Mark's going to be able to get that pass made using all the runoff out of there. Move him up to third. But look at the run that the Red Devil driver has coming back.
I'll pass the lead up there. Jansen trying to get around Emre out of the S's. You'd see it here from the onboard to catch.
It Emre with the preferred position in the dark car. Jansen able to take it in deeper.
Yes, he did.
And he gets the pass made.
Your new leader, Carl Jansen, the rookie. We've been talking about him all day, Sue.
He came from 11th. He's got the lead now. We'll stay on this lead battle. To catch cannot wait. He cannot fool around with Emre. He's got to get around him, as does Usher. I think Jansen is fast enough that he could race away from these guys. Okay, look at Usher. He's got to run on to catch. The problem is, they've got Emre up in front of him. Let's see what Usher does. Usher forces to catch wide. He gets the spot now. He's up to third. But we've seen this before. To catch, he already got around him once before. Now here comes Willett and Osterkamp back in 5th and 6th. If these guys continue to horseplay up front, going to let more guys into the mix. Meanwhile, Carl Jansen, Sean, he's picking them up and putting them down, cooking with hot fish grease now.
Yes, Soup, indeed.
Let's go to Usher. He's got a run on Emre. And he gets it done going into the 90. Nothing between him now and the lead. Usher also knows that his biggest rival, Lorson Nord, is gone, as is Charlie Summers. So of the guys that are really a threat right now, Mark Usher is the fastest guy. Tell that to Evan Emre. Emre fighting back. All of this going on. 9/10 of a second now, Jansen's lead. Oh my goodness. Usher cut the course. That's why Jansen is pulling away. He loses 2 spots. He loses a spot to Osterkamp.
Osterkamp really digging here, Soup. Up 6 spots, now in the 4th. Usher, though, the man on track to watch out for. I mean, he really has picked up the most spots here. He would love to get that back.
With
We're
10 minutes,
replay.
watching this, with 10 minutes of racing left, he might have enough time to do it. It's through the bus stop. It's that fun. Boy, we've seen that spot right there. It's that final spot of that inner loop. The biggest fan of that replay is Carl Jansen now. His lead, 1.6 seconds over Season 6 champion Christian to catch. We know there's a lot of fighting through the field, but right now we're going to focus our attention up front for a minute. And let's go back to look at the driver in 6th spot. It is Mark Usher. He wants to get Osterkamp back. Osterkamp has a good run on Emre. There's no room for Usher. Usher needs an Usher to get these guys out of the way. Osterkamp gets the pass. Usher had to wait. Osterkamp up to 3rd, and Sean, that's a big name too. Does he have enough? Maybe.
I'll tell you what, here comes Scott Newton making his move up the back, up the straightaway now, looking to take a position away from Willett.
Oh, look at him. My goodness,
I
the
know.
fighting goes on. Emre had a shot. He had a peek in there. Oh, did Osterkamp pick up a slowdown penalty? He went pretty wide. Got 2 tires off. I think he's okay. Now they go down into the chute. Usher through the chute on the outside. He should get a good run. What I like to call down the laces now, the top of the boot. Into the toe. He gets it done. Emre stuck on the outside, getting loose in front of him. Does he save it? He does. That was Matthew Willett. Woo! Willett's going to lose a lot of momentum. He falls back into 11th position, but he doesn't crash the car.
You know, the racing between Godin and Knut Martinsen really heating up here. This is a battle for 7th. Godin on the inside. He takes it for now, but still got to get through the last turn here. Yeah, that's a good one there. That's a good pass for Godin. He's going to move up.
And Patrick Kessler sitting back there, the 3rd car in that train. Godin, very fast, a former champion as well. Osterkamp makes a mistake and he loses the position. That goes to Usher. Usher, trying to make up for his inner loop mistake, is now up to third. The catch is 2.3 seconds ahead of him. We'll ride on board with Osterkamp. Whoa, working the wheel. Just under 7 minutes of racing to go. Jansen with a 1.5 second lead over to catch. To catch with a 2 second lead over Usher. Usher's got to be kicking himself, Sean, that mistake in the inner loop. He would have been there. Too much time to make up.
Yeah, he will regret that, when he goes back and looks at this race. Still a good battle here for the top 10. Oh, no, Donoso makes a big mistake there coming out of the toe. He was gaining, looking for a move on Kessler, and boy, now he's got to worry about Willett and Van Luzenoord right behind him. Van Luzenoord making a battle, making a run at it there with Willett. Willett's going to hang on to it for right now.
Another driver. I had actually scratched him off, really, the list here, but remember, we're talking points. These are all points that Luzenoord can pick up. Boy, he is really trying to find his way around the rookie. They head down into one. I think he should have a run there going into the 90. He gets that pass made, and I think he'll probably be able to finish that up. 1.3 seconds the gap between the leader and to catch. Usher not able to make up enough time. Let's go to fifth position. This is Evan Emery. Remember, he was he our pole sitter? He sure was. Right now, he's being challenged on the outside by Scott Newton. Newton, the top Tier 2 driver, picks up another spot. That'll help him in the overall points. Tier 2, they score that against only the drivers against all the Tier 2 drivers, so that spot really won't earn him any more points as he races for the lead in that class. Other Tier 2 drivers, Knut Martinson, Robin, Banks, Bardon in 14th overall. Go ahead, Sean.
Van Luzenoord and Willett are still battling toe-to-toe here.
No, I said that was over, but I guess it's not.
No, it's not. Van Luzenoord now just gets back by Willett again. I think they've passed each other maybe 4 or 5 times now here in just the past several laps.
And just ahead of them, oh my goodness, this is Donoso side by side. I thought they were going to get together with Knut Martinson, the Orange Viking, holding him off.
I don't want to go toe-to-toe with a Viking, but boy, Knut really having trouble. Struggling.
Good racing going on inside the top 10.
Indeed. Still good racing going on throughout the field. I mean, Connor Ryan, Tom Van Hoyman, and Ziv Sadeh actually 16th, 17th, 18th having a spirited battle. But boy, Van Luzenoord looking to pick up another one. He's going to get it there in the 90. Shoots right on under Knut Martinson. One
more spot, a couple more points. Let's stay on it though, because here comes Willett. Remember, Willett was farther up. He had that mistake, but no, fighting back now is Martinson. He's going to be, this may work, as let's see if Martinson pins Van Luzenoord down. No, he's going to let them go through the bus stop. They go in that order. Van Luzenoord, Martinson, and Willett. 9th, 10th, or 8th, what would that be? 10th, 11th, and 12th, I guess.
I mean, listen, Van Luzenoord made a mistake, all right? You're human. No big deal. It's how you recover that people will remember. And Soup, he's recovered now, up 10 spots from 20th. He's in 10th place. Maybe 9th in front of him here before we end this thing. But, boy, what a strong recovery.
Remember, you got to think big picture. You're adding whatever positions you can make up here to your feature race win to try to get the best points day you can. Great race we are watching there. 4 cars on that low-angle Dougie Beard camera shot. I love it when they're coming at you.
Boy, I know he's in the lead, and there hasn't been much to talk about, but we can't forget about the effort of Carl Jansen either. Soup, the rookie, coming in and just kicking tail and taking names here.
Put on a show in the feature race and going to win the sprint race if all things go his way here, the final 2 minutes of racing. But it's only a 0.6 of a second lead now. To catch is beginning to close on him. Jansen might just be minding the gap.
Yeah, Jansen trying to break the draft a little bit there, I think.
I think he's got his work cut out for him now.
Yeah, he does. Oh! Jansen spins and hits the tire barrier. Well, so much for that. Oh, no.
Christmas comes 10 days early to Christian to catch.
Oh, no.
What was there?
Wow.
That was our director starts to sing Under Pressure. Yep, that was a little bit of Christian to catch getting up there, making the mirrors really, really small, full of Christian to catch. Well, he's got 2 seconds now over Mark Usher and a ton of experience. Don't expect to see that kind of mistake from him. I would assume we are on the white flag lap.
Not. I think
Nope, white flag
this time by.
around.
Yes, sir. Wow.
Well, give us a second. Let's go back then and check back in on this heated battle, Sean. Back in 6. Jansen now has fallen back into the mix. I don't think his car's healthy. Here comes Kessler. He wants some of it. Donoso behind him.
Now, Jansen's got some wing damage on the left front.
Oh, this is going to be costly.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's not good.
Pick a lane, Carl. He loses a spot to Kessler.
The white flag is out.
Loses one more to Donoso. Donoso way wide, trying to find his way back onto the track. Now tucked up in there as well. That is Van Larsenor trying to get around these guys. They're just not wide enough. Oh my goodness. That was Jansen comes down right in front of Van Larsenor. Now Martin finds a way.
Jansen just making that car as wide as he can. You'd think he was in a Buick there going down the straightaway.
He is fending these guys off. Meanwhile, our leaders are going into the toe.
Oh, Van Loosenhoord gets a piece of Jansen there. Jansen was trying to pinch him off, and Van Loosenhoord wouldn't have any part of it. Boy, they're still fighting soup.
Donoso is around, and now I think maybe... Now he can't finish it on the outside. He gets it done. We'll watch our leader. Our leader just going into the heel. We can stay where we are right now. Finally, Van Loosenhoord gets that pass made, as does Evan Emre, as our leader works through quarter number 9. Emre is able to get around. Jansen now falling back into 10. Our leader going through 10. We better go up front as there's only one more corner to go. He was the champion for season 6. He negotiates corner number 11. Nothing between him and the checkered flag. Get the sprint race win in the season 8 debut to Christian to catch for Red Devil Racing. Mark Usher came from 18th to 2nd. Renee Osterkamp 10th to 3rd.
Donoso going to finish just ahead of Van Loosenhoord.
Emre, Willette, and after the mistake, Carl Jansen in 11th. Spinning through any more battles in the points-paying positions? I don't think so. Whew. Well, Sean, our racing is done here in New York, but our broadcast is far from over. What we're going to do right now is take another short break, but we will be back to run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just concluded, talk to some of the drivers before we put a lock on the gate here at Watkins Glen. Back in a few. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of Apex Online Racing's Formula Renault 2.0 Season 8 Championship, the debut race here from Watkins Glen. Time to run down the finishing order of the sprint race that just concluded, and it was a humdinger of an event. We thought he might be good. Christian Tkach came from 4th to get the win. Mark Usher 18th to 2nd in a great drive. Scott Newton, our top Tier 2 driver, comes home on the final podium spot. Rene Osterkamp behind him, rounding out your top 5, the French-Canadian Jean-Francois Gaudin. Patrick Kessler and rookie Fabricio Donoso go home in 6th and 7th. Donoso, our top rookie. A pair of top drivers, Martin van Loosenhoort, he won the feature. He's going to finish 8th in the sprint. Evan Emre, the defending Tier 2 champion, is in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, rookie Matthew Willett. Sean?
Well, Carl Jansen couldn't quite pull it off, but he does finish 11th, and his fellow countryman Knut Martinsen going to finish right there with him in 12th. Adam Tierney, 13th. Robin Bondon, 14th. 15th, going to go to Miguel Antolin. 16th, Connor Ryan. Tom Van Hoyman, 17th. Ziv Sadeh, 18th. Much better finish for him, up 19 spots for the man from Israel there. Daniel Morris, 19th. And Yudas Vastamaki going to finish 20th today.
Our apologies to Casper Thron. Not sure if we got much screen time today. He comes home in the blackjack position. Robin Steppers behind him. Luke Barden, Sarah Dove, not a good day for her, crashing in both events. She's going to get 21st. Charlie Summers finished 2nd in the feature. No such luck in the sprint as he comes home in the quarter-century mark. Alec Hudson, Jerunde Cartel, Alexis Meriloso, Hugo Kanye, and Harrison Finch round out your top 30. Crackers?
All right, Soup 31st going to be Guillaume Toledo. Klinger? Yes, okay. Christoph Holstein there at 32nd. 33rd, Stefan Herman. Rudolf Nagel, 34th. 35th, Yuri Mochak. Enric Andre, 36th. Ty McLeod, 37th. And Bruno Dometer going to round out the 38-car field for us today.
Telling you, there's nobody listening that got the Klinger Toledo reference. I guarantee if anybody watching in YouTube chat, nobody got that one. Well, they must. Oh, do we look at this? We do have some people here. I wasn't thinking that anyone's going to come in and talk to us, but it looks like a few people are going to be able to give us a little love here and come into our new and improved interview booth here. Sean, who are we going with first?
Much improved indeed, Soup. Boy, you know what? Well, I haven't. Who do you think we should talk to, Soup?
I'll talk to Martin van Loosenhoort. Here he won the feature race. You want to bring him on in? We'll see if we can get a little chat with him.
Is Martin van Loosenhoort there? I don't see him, Soup.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Let's talk to Scott Newton. How about I'll give you Scott Newton. Let's go with him.
Right, we'll talk to Scott, our Tier 2 driver who finished 3rd in the sprint race here. He had a pretty good day in the feature, if I remember right. Probably a pretty good day for Scott. Congratulations. Good day.
Hey, Bill. Yeah, definitely a solid day to say the least. Top 10 in the feature, and then obviously podium in the sprint race. So, yeah, much better than last season. I'll say that.
You know, I've done a lot of these broadcasts. It seems like you guys in Australia are really good at getting the fuel in the car. During the feature race, my gosh, you had a fast stop.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't sure actually whether I had damage because I might have had a bit of contact with Andre going through turn 6 of the Classic with the downhill left-hander, and that might have affected the front aero. But yeah, luckily it was just a little bit of netcode damage. But yeah, fuel goes in really, really quick in this car, thankfully. Roughly only about 3 or 4 seconds that it works out to be for 10 litres. So luckily I was able to at least capitalise on that and stay within the top 10 positions.
Apex Racing UK, you're racing all by yourself? You got a partner this season?
By myself at the moment. Pete's got other commitments at the moment, so that's why he hasn't signed up. So yeah, just privateer at in terms of being alone, yes, I'm a privateer, but obviously racing, representing Apex.
with Imre and Kessler bumped up into the top tier group, tier 2 championship in your reach?
Let's hope so. I'm not going to count any straws just yet, given the fact that it's only the end of round 1. It's always great to be leading the tier 2 championship at any stage, but you got to be leading at the final race, and that's what I am to do.
Well, Scott, always good to talk to you. Congratulations on a good performance today, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, no worries. Cheers, Bill.
Scott Newton, a fine job here as he races for Apex. I forgot the name of the team. Apex UK Racing. There's something like that there.
Way to go, Sue.
Okay, that's
all right. Now we've been warned that Carl may not be extremely happy. I think he should be happy with a pretty solid performance for a rookie, but it probably didn't end like you wanted it to, did it, Carl?
Nah, not really.
But pretty tough group of drivers to have to fight amongst, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, everyone is really good to drive with. Very fun.
Well, Watkins Glen is kind of a standard here on the iRacing service. Where do you stand on your experience here at this track?
Like, I've driven a lot here, but like the incident, there was like nothing to do because like I touched the first curb, the car was fine, and then just when the front tire went on the second curb, it just brought loose in the rear. There was nothing to do really. I mean, in track-wise, I think it's very fun.
Well, Carl, not a bad way to start season 8. I mean, you take a 10th place in the feature, 11th here in the sprint. That's a great points day. That's a great way to get started. We had trouble on the opening lap, knocked a lot of guys out early in both races. So you'll walk away from Watkins Glen, like I said, pretty good way to start in the points. You've got to at least be happy with that, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Well, I mean, the first race was really good, coming from 20th, 10th, but like the second race is a little bit disappointing.
Carl, it's Soup here. After the spin that you had when you were leading, how damaged was the car, and how confident were you going to be able to hold those guys off at the very end for those final spots?
Well, the front wing was pretty much toast. It just started understeering enormously. But the tires were fine, or the steering arms, but the front wing was just gone.
Well, we're supposed to say neutral here in the GSRC booth, but I'll tell you this, you have picked up one fan in me. You put on a great show. Fun to watch your race.
Thank you.
Sean?
Yeah, Carl, again, I echo that sentiment. It was a lot of fun to watch you race. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Yep. See you later.
All right, Soup, and I think you caught up with Evan Imre. Let's get his feelings on how that race just ended up.
Evan Imre, our Tier 2 defending champion, although he won't be able to defend that, is bumped up with the big boys now. First of all, congratulations on the Tier 2 championship, and you had some fun there. You had a little bit of a taste of the lead for a while.
About 6 or 7 laps, but unfortunately, it was inevitable that the faster guys were going to catch up, and I was doing all right. I actually had decent pace in the sprint race. I was keeping up with the leaders, and it was going quite well. And I didn't want to fight that much because even more fast guys would catch up. At right at the last lap there, I lost a couple of positions because it was a little bit of aggressive driving, but it was fair. I think I ended up 9th in the end. I led some more laps in my career to add to my career tally.
At the end of the feature race, you were racing with your teammate Kmart, the Orange Viking Knut Martinson. Were you aware that Robin Bardon was coming and maybe going to bump you guys out of one of those prize spots?
Well, I didn't. I left the qualifying fuel in. I didn't put my race fuel in at all. So my whole race was compromised. I had to save a bit of fuel and all that. Otherwise, I would have smashed my teammate. Let's be honest. I forgot that it's only the top 20 that get reversed. So I wasn't that concerned at the time.
Yeah, the new rules. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I read them, but I forgot. I wasn't. I wasn't aware.
So you were surprised then to be on the pole?
Yeah, they were all saying in the Discord we all sit in that they're saying it's a Force Fizzy one too. It's like, well, what are you on about? So I think that's my first poll. So
Evan, what did you think of Soup's pace in practice yesterday?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I'll tell you, it was the benchmark. It really, you were either, it was on the balance between being rubbish or decent.
Yeah, I was in the zone. It was almost like I wasn't really driving it. I felt so confident there. Hey, we'll get you out of there on this one. New paint schemes. You're going to be faster this year with those.
Oh yeah, I feel faster. I'm going faster. I just feel like I'm going to become the Tier 1 champion. Really, I'm going to win. I'm going to win the Tier 1 championship this year, which there isn't a Tier 1 championship. There's just the main championship, which
that's right.
I'm not going to win because I'm not very good.
Yeah, well, what you lack in speed, you make up in confidence. That's for sure. All right. Good luck to you the rest of the way. We'll keep an eye on you.
See you later.
Evan Emre, a very fun interview. Are we done?
Well, no, we're going to talk to Sarah real quick. And
oh no.
Well, I want to know how she's feeling.
But, okay, this is going to be so sad. Go ahead, bring her in.
Well, she's in, Soup, but
no, you talk to her. I don't want any part of this. This was an ugly day for her. Go ahead, Sean.
Sorry, we all feel bad for you in the day you had here. Any parting thoughts for us about today's event?
It could have gone better.
She's a master of understatement. Yeah, that's
not the best day for me or any of my teammates. We all just got killed, so not the best.
Will getting off of the American tracks maybe help the team? Because I mean, we do go to California next week.
I don't know. I think it might have just been bad luck, because both first laps I had gained quite a few positions and then it all went wrong. So it might be I don't do anything next week, but then gain loads at the end of the race or something.
Well, look, Sarah, you're on the defending championship team there. You're racing for Formula Mini. Big things are expected for you now.
Yeah, I maybe be able to deliver, but I don't know.
How did that happen? Did Christoph give you a call, or did you say did you raise your hand, or how did that work? How did you get put up there?
Well, we're all sort of like in like the Discord thingy, so like sometimes we'll be speaking to each other and while racing and everything. So they just asked me if I wanted to join, and that was that.
Yes, that's a no-brainer. That's a yes. Well, Sean, let's wish her the best for the rest of the season. Put this one behind her, huh?
Yeah, let's get on to next week, Sarah, and I'm sure things will work out better there when we get to Laguna Seca.
I hope so.
Of course, we'll probably see Sarah tomorrow on the MX5 World Tour. She shows up there, does a little cross-pollination, so we wish her the best there. Maybe she can take some of the sting out of the wound. Okay, that's going to do it for us here on the Global Sim Racing channel, but we got some people we want to thank. And, of course, everybody at Apex Online Racing for organizing Formula Renault 2.0 League and for all their members who support the broadcast. We know we have a lot of choices when you're choosing your broadcast company. Thanks for choosing GSRC. Thanks to the companies, equipment, and software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. The original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to talk to each one of them. Sean?
The AOR returns next week for round 2, Friday the 22nd of December. Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca on tap, full course indeed. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action, and we hope you join us. For more information about GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. Go to our YouTube page. We have a whole host of archives there and upcoming races. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel. And yes, find us on Facebook. We'd love to interact with you there. Just type in Global Sim Racing Channel, all one word, Global Sim Racing Channel. Super.
Finally, give a shout out, a birthday wish to my dad. It's his 100th birthday today. Pops, if you're watching up in heaven there from the your man cave, happy birthday. And now, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, Sean Crackers Ambrose, our director, Joe Peak, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun. Storm of the Castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.